Ever wished you had a superpower?
Yeah.
Well, one character we'll talk about today has this incredible memory,
Oh, wow.
but it might not be the blessing you'd think.
Really?
So we are deep diving
Gosh.
into
Okay.
Save Me Stranger, a collection of short stories by Erika Krouse. Like 11 unique journeys.
Wow.
And it takes you everywhere from the coldest town in Siberia to a haunted inn in Colorado.
Oh.
Yeah.
What really struck me was how Krauss takes these like really intense situations,
Yeah.
survival loss, tough choices,
Yeah.
and she shows how people find resilience.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about sugarcoating it.
Yeah.
It's about that grit that gets us through.
Right. Like in the Pole of Cold,
Mm-hmm.
the setting itself is brutal.
Yeah.
We're talking Oymyakon, Siberia,
Oh, wow.
where birds literally freeze mid-flight.
Oh, my goodness.
Krauss doesn't just tell you it's cold.
Right.
You feel it.
You feel it.
Yeah.
And then against that backdrop, you've got Vera, who's so connected to this harsh place.
Mm-hmm.
And then Theo, an American scientist, arrives, and their connection reveals how, like, the past can ripple into the present in these, like, unexpected ways.
It makes you think, if you grew up in such an extreme environment,
Yeah.
would you crave the familiar or risk the unknown? That's the dilemma Vera faces,
Right.
and it's not an easy one.
Not at all.
Sure.
And that tension between the familiar and the unknown is something Krauss explores so beautifully throughout the entire collection.
Yes.
For example, The Standing Man
Yeah.
takes us to a totally different world.
Yeah.
A ramen shop outside Tokyo.
Oh, cool.
Imagine a chef,
Okay.
Sato,
Uh-huh.
who remembers every customer, every order
Wow.
for years.
It's mind-blowing.
Right.
Yeah.
But here's the twist.
What?
Sato's incredible memory is also a burden.
Mhm.
He's holding on to things most of us would rather forget.
Yeah, that's true.
And then there's Abraham,
Mm.
this American English teacher who can barely remember where he lives.
Oh, wow.
He's struggling to adapt to life in Japan. And his forgetfulness
Yeah.
becomes this really poignant contrast to Sato's sharp memory.
I see that.
Krauss like weaves humor into their interactions.
Uh-huh.
But there's this underlying sadness too.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're both grappling with different sides of the same coin.
It's that blend of humor and pathos
Yes.
that makes her writing so compelling.
Totally.
And speaking of complex emotions,
Okay.
let's talk about Jude,
Uh-huh.
which delves into grief and family secrets,
Right.
particularly those passed down through generations. You have Baisha
Okay.
trying to understand her grandmother, Roberta, a Holocaust survivor.
So Roberta carries the weight of unimaginable trauma,
Yeah.
and her reluctance to share the past
Yeah.
creates this wall between them.
It raises the question, how do we reconcile with the past?
Right.
Especially when it's filled with pain and loss.
That's a big one.
Heavy stuff.
Yeah,
But so relevant to how families deal with things left unsaid.
absolutely.
That we have the Blue Hole,
Okay.
where a college student, Katie, on a scuba diving trip to New Mexico, is dealing with an unplanned pregnancy.
Oh, wow. Talk about pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
The diving becomes a metaphor for the risks she's taking.
Uh-huh.
The feeling of being submerged in a situation she doesn't know how to handle.
Right.
And then a near-death experience forces her to confront her fears
Wow.
and make a life-changing decision.
It's like the story itself takes your breath away.
Okay, we've covered some pretty intense emotional territory.
Yeah.
Are you ready for a story about unexpected kindness?
Always. I love how Krauss shows all the different facets of human experience.
Yeah, what have you got?
So,
Let's talk about the title story.
okay.
Save Me, Stranger.
Uh-huh.
It's about two people, Rachel and David,
Hmm.
who are both struggling with their own demons.
Right.
Rachel is dealing with the aftermath of a traumatic experience. And David, a doctor, is battling his own inner turmoil. They meet at a vulnerable point.
Right.
And what's amazing is how Rachel,
Uh-huh.
despite her own pain,
Yeah.
finds the strength to offer David kindness.
It's a powerful reminder that even when we're hurting,
Yeah.
we can still be a source of light for others.
Mhm.
And sometimes those small acts of kindness
Right?
can have this like ripple effect,
Yeah.
creating connections we never could have imagined.
I love how you put that.
Oh, good.
It's like Krauss is saying that even in the darkest of times,
Yeah,
human connection can be a lifeline.
it can be. It's interesting how Krauss doesn't shy away from the tough topics
Right.
north of Dodge.
Mm-hmm.
Katie, this young woman facing like economic hardship,
Yeah.
gets caught up in this really morally complex situation. It would be
Yeah.
so easy to judge.
Yeah.
But Krouse makes you really feel the weight of her choices.
Absolutely.
You see her wrestling with her conscience, trying to do what's right,
Yeah.
while also dealing with those harsh realities of her life.
Right.
And the setting this gritty side of Omaha
Right.
adds another layer of pressure.
It's like the environment itself is closing in on her.
Exactly.
Then there's Eat My Moose,
Okay.
which takes us to Alaska.
Right?
We meet Colum,
Mm-hmm.
a veteran haunted by his past, who now helps other veterans
Oh, wow.
struggling with suicidal thoughts.
His story really got to me.
Yeah.
He's carrying so much guilt.
Right.
And you see him grappling with the moral ambiguity of war,
Yeah.
the things he's seen and done.
It's heavy stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
Krouse connects his military experiences to his present-day work
Yeah.
in such a powerful way.
Uh-huh.
He's trying to find redemption.
Right.
But it's not a simple path.
Yeah.
And his bond with Bonnie,
Right.
another veteran,
Yeah.
highlights the importance of finding people who understand what you've been through.
It's a reminder that sometimes the deepest connections are forged in shared pain.
They are.
Okay, ready for a story that's a little lighter, but still packs a punch.
Hit me with it.
When in Bangkok,
Okay.
it's a family vacation gone wrong,
Uh-huh.
complete with hilarious cultural clashes
Yeah.
and those awkward moments we've all experienced when traveling.
We have.
Yeah.
But it's more than just funny travel mishaps.
Right.
Krouse uses the setting to highlight the darker side of tourism,
Yeah.
the exploitation that can happen.
Hmm.
We see this through the eyes of Elsa,
Uh-huh.
the teenage daughter,
Right.
who's becoming so disillusioned with everything.
She's at that age where you start questioning everything.
She is.
Right?
Yeah.
And she's noticing things her family seems oblivious to.
Uh-huh.
It's like she's waking up to a less than ideal world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's grappling with her own values, trying to find her place in a system that feels out of whack.
Speaking of systems and values,
Okay.
the piano is a fascinating exploration of what we leave behind.
I like that.
We meet Leo, a piano salesman, trying to sell a Steinway that's been vandalized.
Oh, wow.
It's not just any vandalism.
Right.
It's the wife of the previous owner who did it.
Oh, my goodness.
And as Leo tries to sell this damaged instrument,
Yeah.
we get glimpses of his own life, his observations of human nature.
Right.
And then there's Dagny, this really enigmatic woman
Okay.
who connects with the piano in a way that nobody else does.
Interesting.
Their stories intertwine,
Yeah.
creating a tapestry of loss, resilience, and those unexpected moments of connection that Krouse does so well.
She does.
Okay, are you up for a story that's a little spooky,
Yes.
but also deeply moving?
Bring on the chills.
Fear Me as You Fear God
Oh.
is set in a haunted inn in Colorado.
Okay.
We meet Rachel, who's running from an abusive husband,
Oh, gosh.
seeking refuge in this isolated place.
Yeah.
But the inn has a dark history, and she's not alone.
It's like she's trying to escape one kind of haunting,
Right.
only to find herself in another.
Yeah.
The story explores the ways in which our past experiences and the unspoken stories around us can shape our present.
It makes you think about how we carry our fears and traumas with us.
Yeah.
And how sometimes those things can manifest in these unexpected ways.
Right.
And then there's,
Okay.
I feel like I could stand here with you all night and it would be the worst night of my life.
Oh, wow. What a title.
It's a long title,
It is.
but it perfectly captures the feeling of the story.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about that awkward, uncomfortable stage of life where you're trying to figure out who you are
Yeah.
and where you belong. The narrator is stuck in a dead-end job,
Right.
surrounded by these eccentric characters
No.
who are all dealing with their own pain and loneliness.
There's a sense of desperation, of searching for connection in a world that feels isolating. And it's in those moments of shared vulnerability, those awkward encounters, that something profound can happen.
Right.
Krouse shows how, even in the midst of chaos and despair, human connection can emerge in the most unexpected places.
As we've been talking about all these stories, I'm struck by how often Krouse returns to this theme of connection.
You're right, whether it's Vera finding an unexpected link to her past, Sito and Abraham finding solace in their shared humanity,
Right.
or Rachel offering kindness to David,
Yeah.
these characters are all trying to bridge the gap between themselves and others.
It's like they're all searching for those moments of shared humanity.
Yeah.
Those glimpses of understanding and empathy that
Yeah.
can make life feel a little less lonely.
And Krouse captures those moments with such beauty and precision.
Right.
Her writing is like a flashlight beam,
Yeah.
illuminating the hidden corners of the human heart.
So what are your final thoughts on Save Me, Stranger?
Yeah.
What resonated most with you?
For me, it's the empathy that permeates every story.
Right.
Krouse doesn't shy away from the messiness of life,
Yeah.
from the pain and the struggle.
Right.
But she also shows us the strength and resilience of the human spirit.
I completely agree.
Good.
This collection is a powerful reminder that even in the face of these immense challenges,
Yeah.
there's always hope for connection, for healing, and even for moments of grace.
It's a reminder that we're all in this together.
Yeah.
Even when it feels like we're completely alone.
And I think that's a beautiful note to end on.
It really is. Krause's stories stay with you because they tap into something universal.
Yeah.
You know, that human need for connection.
Exactly. And she does it without those easy answers or happy endings.
Yeah.
You know, it's messy, it's real.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so powerful.
What I find fascinating is how she uses these like very different settings. You know, from that frozen Siberian landscape to a bustling Bangkok street to explore the same like underlying themes.
Yeah.
It's like she's saying that no matter where you are or what circumstances you're facing, these like fundamental human experiences bind us all together.
You know, for a collection of stories
Yeah.
that deals with such heavy topics.
Right.
You know, loss, trauma, moral dilemmas. I actually walked away feeling hopeful.
I know what you mean. There's a resilience in these characters.
Yeah.
A spark of hope
Well, right.
that shines through even in the darkest moments.
It's like Krouse is reminding us that even when things are tough,
Yeah.
there's still beauty to be found, connection to be made,
Right.
and the possibility of finding our way back to ourselves.
And maybe that's the biggest takeaway from Save Me, Stranger.
Yeah.
That we're not alone in our struggles.
Right.
That even in the face of these immense challenges, there's always a reason to keep searching for that connection.
Right.
That spark of hope.
Yeah.
That reminder that we're all part of something bigger than ourselves.
So what do you say? Should we recommend this book to our listener?
Absolutely. If you're looking for a collection that will challenge you, move you, and stay with you long after you've turned that final page, then Save Me, Stranger is a must-read.
And we want to hear your thoughts?
Yes.
What resonated with you most? Was there a particular character or story that stayed with you?
Right.
Leave a comment and let us know.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Save Me, Stranger.
Absolutely.
We hope you enjoyed exploring these stories as much as we did.
Me too.
And don't forget to like, subscribe,
Yes.
and share this episode with anyone who might appreciate a good dose of literary discussion.
I agree.
Until next time, happy reading.